There'll be cost for care, maintenance, upkeep of that particular system. Roustabout services, you'll have to contract that. Even though you're using natural gas for your free gas provision, what a lot of landowners need to understand is that to have an exempt domestic well, you can use it on your property. If you are using it for a rental property or want to sell gas to someone else like a neighbor, that's illegal. You will not be able to do that. This has to be for personal use. You'll still have to keep that well running, which means you'll need a tank battery. And so you'll still be pumping oil. In many of the older wells, you bring up a barrel of brine for every barrel of oil. You'll still be able to sell that oil into the market, but the brine, you'll have to work with an Ohio licensed brine disposal company. You're talking around $10 per barrel for disposal, plus another $8 to $7 for transportation. That's an expense you'll take a look at. You will also have to take a look at, since you own the well and it's recorded at the county recorder's office, in the future, that well will have to be decommissioned. Basic prices for decommissioning a well, plugging it, taking it out of production, making sure it's environmentally sound, $25,000 hit. So we're telling a lot of landowners, when you take a look at this well, how much natural gas are you going to use a year? For domestic use, that's for your home or your farm, that's probably worth somewhere around $1,500 to $2,500 per year. The oil that you're going to be able to sell in the market through that activity to keep it active and maintained, maybe another $800 to $1,200 per year. So there's your income flow. When you take a look at care, maintenance, and upkeep, reporting, and also having to do decommissioning, as well as liability insurance and a number of other things that make you a responsible well owner, you need to weigh basically the income with regard to the expense. And for many smaller landowners, that could be quite a challenge. You'll still have to file production reports with ODNR Division of Oil and Gas. You'll still have to file through the Federal Right to Know Act of 1987 information with regard to where that well is located, help folks with regard to emergency planning, answer a number of questions that neighbors, emergency management agencies, towns, townships would have with regard to the placement of that particular well. Depending on how close you are to neighbors or in proximity to a town, security fencing, posting basically who owns the well, emergency contact information, emergency plans on file will still have to be done and be done by you. With regard to liability insurance, that's a whole new frontier. Many landowners were covered via liability insurance in their oil and gas lease with the oil and gas production company. A lot of folks are finding out that farm and ranch owner insurance policies have never covered this type of exposure or risk, which means buying a specialized insurance policy for a domestic well is going to be something you'll look at too. Each county is assigned 2 well inspectors. You can go to their website, take a look at where the regional or district office is, call the well inspector, and basically tell him you're interested in buying a well to make it a domestic well on my property. Can you come out, take a look at it, inspect the infrastructure? And those guys will, almost free of charge, do that for you as a service. So the landowner can take a look at what infrastructure is there, what needs to be repaired, what's going on there too. Also, landowners need to understand that this supply of natural gas and oil is interruptible. It's not guaranteed forever and a day. It is going to deplete sometime in the future. And many people are saying, well, what is the production history of this particular well? You can go to ODNR's website, and you have what's called the Ohio Oil and Gas Well Explorer. And literally in the website, in a matter of minutes, you can go from a state map down to a county map, down to a plat map with your personal property, and the wells that have been registered since the late teens and early 20s are all there. Those that are in production, as well as those that have been plugged or decommissioned. You can click on that particular site, and in that small box having to do when you click on that well on your property will be the permit, the drilling record with regard to its depth and the geologic formations it's gone to, and the production in oil and natural gas each year that well has been in operation.